What was your favourite childhood toy?
Oh, I have an answer for this one.
Okay, well, you go while I try and think of what I had.
So I had 3 little soft toy dogs.
Yep.
That were the same but all different colours.
Okay. Okay, the first toy that comes to mind from my childhood was the Tupperware shape collector. They were iconic in every home. Because Tupperware was the thing.
Yeah.
Did you know Tupperware's going into liquidation?
Really?
Yeah.
What, like just recently?
Yeah, in the last couple of months. They're going to be no more. So yeah, I'm really sad about Tupperware.
Comment if you had a Tupperware childhood, because I definitely did.
Yeah.
This episode we'll be discussing insurance for both the tenant and the owner.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss.
Welcome to Parkstone at Home, a podcast where we talk property, home and living in Queensland, Australia. If you own property or are interested in investing, or if you're like me and are currently renting, then this is a podcast for you. As always, I'm Hayley, Marketing Director, and I'm joined by Elizabeth Jackson, owner of Parkstone Property and local Mackay entrepreneur.
I wish I knew.
I think the last Tupperware party I went to was probably 2000. When did I have Henry? It was 2011. It might have been 2012 or 13. It was the last one I ever went to.
That's like 10 years ago, by the way. Right? That's not, no, right? Because when you say like 2012, I'm like, oh yeah, 3 years ago, 2012.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's like 10 years ago, 2012. More than.
I mean, look.
How insane is that? That hurts me when I think about that.
Isn't it funny though? Because I look at my kids and Henry's going to be 14 this year. So okay.
That makes sense.
But I don't ever think about it of 2024. We're 2025 now, actually.
God.
And then you look back and go, okay, well, that was so many years ago. It's like, whoa. I feel like that was just a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's just, yeah.
It's over a decade ago.
That's why it's important to have insurance.
Yeah.
Segue queen. Because because time passes and things happen.
That's right.
And insurance means that you're protected for those things when they happen.
Correct.
In the future, it's planning for the future.
It is. And it's really important in Queensland to have insurance.
Oh, yeah.
With the weather that we have.
Yes.
So unpredictable. I mean, to a degree, it's predictable in Mackay, far north Queensland, where I'm based. We know that we have tropical monsoon weather.
It's like predictable, unpredictable weather.
Yeah.
Right?
There's going to be a level of rain, humidity, potential cyclone warnings, anywhere from November through to March, pretty much, for us in our in that summerish period.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's really important for us, especially where we are, to have that insurance coverage. Not just owners, also tenants as well.
Yeah, well, like I don't know the statistics for it, but I feel like every single person in Queensland has either been through it themselves or knows somebody who's had their house flood or had things blown into it or like because of a cyclone. It's just like so normal. Yeah. So it's silly not to have insurance for it.
Come to Queensland. It's beautiful and warm.
No, it's really nice though. No, but because we're trying to gatekeep it, so don't come here. Go to Melbourne. Go to Melbourne wherever else.
No, but that's the funny thing. So in our summers, we get a lot of people coming up in their caravans or coming up in the school holidays in our summers. Our winter. Yeah. It's
we're migrating.
Yeah, so because it's so cold and it can be rainy and miserable in Victoria, so they all come up to the sunny coast or Gold Coast just to get some sun and some warmth, and even further north up to Airlie Beach, they come up. And
I have a bit that I do. If I see like a number plate that says Victoria or South Australia or something, I always like yell from my car and I'm like, go back to where you came from. That's my bit that I do. But only if it's within states in Australia, because Queensland is the best. That's my bit. It's really funny. It's funny every time I do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of which state's the best, I don't know. The roads are pretty good in New South Wales.
Are they?
The freeway?
I have no gauge for that because I've never driven there. Well, I've driven out of Whoop Whoop, but like the roads are dirt, so.
Oh, okay, no.
That's different.
Well, that's like you're still in Queensland then.
Yeah, it's no different.
So no, New South Wales, they've got their freeway and it's like a 5-lane highway freeway.
Oh, no, I don't like that.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful to drive on.
As
I
in, like,
miss it.
Physically, it's like not bumpy and it's smooth and stuff. Okay, that's kind of fair.
And everybody not everybody, but majority of people on those roads abide by the rules. So like you've pretty much got the two right lanes. The two right lanes are for your really fast ones.
Yep, makes
and
sense.
so you get out, you get into it, and then you get back into the other middle to left-hand lanes.
Yep.
It's just there's just unwritten rule of if over 80, you just get out of the way, because there are going to be people that are going to go faster than you, and they just want to get past you, and you don't want to be rear-ended, or you don't want to have someone tailgating you, so you just abide by the road rules. And then when they do their roadworks,
I don't know if they'd like me in New South Wales then, because
Why?
I get funny when people are trying to go faster behind me.
Yeah.
I like don't move out the way because I'm like,
It's out
that's
of
so
spite.
rude.
Yeah, it is.
So maybe I should stay here in Queensland because I'm just as bad as the rest.
I think yes, you're very in tune with Queensland, but there is more in the other states. They've got their perks. Yes,
So
we've got
everyone
beaches.
travel there.
Yeah.
Everyone go buy property over there and go to their beaches and don't come down.
Well, yeah, come to Queensland and swim at our beaches that you can't actually swim at a majority of the time because
Didn't someone get like bit by a shark the other week? This
Yeah.
is so off topic. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but yeah, like in Ailey, or not Ailey.
no,
Was it Agnes? Agnes
yeah.
Waters.
Yeah. So the
was
further
crazy.
north you go, so in Airlie Beach and in Mackay, in our warmer months we have stingers. So
Yep.
we have jellyfish in our water, so you
Blue
can't
bottles?
actually swim. Irukandji,
Well,
you
you
can't swim in it unless you've got a stinger suit on.
Yeah.
So then a lot of people go to the beaches. They go to the pool because there's no issues there.
Yep.
And even in winter, the water for locals is too cold, but it's still a nice bath temperature, really, for those that aren't local.
Yeah.
So
That'd be hot for them. Yeah.
yeah.
That's true.
So yeah, in Queensland, just things try to kill you even more. As the
Yeah.
further you go, you got crocodiles,
Sharks.
sharks.
Cars on the road.
Yeah, we're
so
really selling Queensland, and
why it's important to have insurance.
yeah.
Life insurance.
Yeah.
Specifically. Not
I was
related to
just
property,
thinking the
but
same.
life insurance for sure.
Just in case you're at the beach, and
Get your life insurance, get it with
Yeah.
your super, whatever. But what other types of insurance? So we're talking home and contents, yeah? That's
Yeah.
a big one.
yeah, definitely. So home and contents. So to put in layman's terms, and I'm no way an insurance broker or know anything really about insurance.
Disclaimer, we're not
Disclaimer?
insurance people.
Home and contents insurance for an owner, landlord insurance for an owner, contents insurance for a tenant. So when we talk home and contents insurance for an owner, we are talking within that, with the home part, that's their building insurance. So
Yep.
that's replacement value of that bricks and mortar or whatever it's built out of.
Yep.
That's to cover that.
Yep.
The contents part of that is for window furnishings, carpet. It's not for a tenant's belongings.
No.
So if
That wouldn't make sense.
no, but unfortunately there's this misconception by tenants that the owner's insurance will cover their things.
But that doesn't that matter? Yeah, no, because that would depend on like the rough valuation of your things,
That's
right?
right.
So
that's
like,
right.
why
And
would
that
they?
is subjective.
Yeah,
to
you could have a
anybody.
house full of like $1,000 million camera equipment.
Yeah,
and
or you might have a TV that's worth $6,000 or
Yeah, they're not gonna
$15,000. That
cover
doesn't.
that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's why it's important for a tenant to have their own contents insurance for just their things, because
Yeah,
they
for
can put a
fire
value
or
on it.
theft.
They may have a diamond necklace that's worth $5,000, or
Yeah.
have a Rolex watch. Those things, that's your responsibility
Yeah.
to cover those. It's just like your car insurance covers your car.
Yeah.
If something happened in the garage in the property, the owner's house insurance or home insurance would make a counterclaim on your car insurance if something happened to your car in that damage. So let's say, for example, the roller door, or there was a storm and the ceiling of the garage fell on top of your car that was parked in the garage.
Oh yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So you've got damage to your car.
yes.
So you can make a claim on your car insurance
Yep.
because the damage to your car.
Yep. Makes sense.
So your insurance company will make a claim against the owner's house insurance,
Yes. Okay.
house insurance policy.
Yeah.
And then because the owner's going to have to make a claim for the ceiling that's all damaged, and
Yeah.
obviously depending on the policy wording, if it's come down. So then those two insurance companies talk together.
Right.
If you don't have your own car insurance for your car, you have to fix your repairs yourself.
yeah.
The owner's insurance does not necessarily cover it.
I honestly, personally, would be surprised if it did. Like,
But again, look
but
at
I
the
guess
policies.
I guess you could say your house hurt my car.
Yes.
So you should
potentially, but yes, it may say on the policy that you have that property rented.
Yeah.
But it's then your turn, like it's then the tenant's obligation or right to take out their own insurance.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, there was flooding through the property and the tenant's items got damaged and they don't have contents insurance. The flooding's not the owner's fault.
No.
It's just a natural random occurrence, perhaps. So the owner's insurance covers the building. Their contents may cover the carpet, the floating floors, the kitchen cupboards and the skirting boards and all of that that's been affected, or halfway up the wall, for example.
Yeah.
But it will not cover your lounge, your standing lamps. It won't cover the your coffee table that was sitting on the floor. It doesn't cover anything like that. It doesn't cover any of your stuff that you can remove from the property.
I feel like that makes sense.
It does make sense
to me.
But I had a situation recently where water came into the property because there'd been heavy rain. It came inside the property and the tenant doesn't have contents insurance. Unfortunately, that's not the owner's responsibility at all.
Here's where I feel like it would get confusing for me personally, is if I felt in myself that the flooding came into the house because of something wrong with the house. Like if there was a hole or something, or if like the drainage was bad, then I might start to be like, oh, well, if this wasn't like this, then it wouldn't have flooded.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Grey area, because it depends on what that insurance report says.
Right.
But if you, in this instance, this had happened to this property before, to the same tenant, so she knew that potentially it could happen. He or she knew it could happen. Move your stuff out of the way if you know that potentially something could happen.
Yeah.
Or if you see water there, move your stuff out of the way. Yeah. To prevent further damage to your items.
Yeah.
So it's that circumstance. I can see where you're coming from. Massive grey area, because it then depends upon the insurance assessor to decide, is that something that could have been prevented, or is this something that's a building defect, or is it just natural and unfortunate? I mean, a mudslide, for example, if you've got a house built on the side of a hill and then there was a massive mudslide, there would be some degree of erosion over time.
Yeah.
But does that mean that the owner's insurance has to cover you because potentially it could happen? That's a long shot. And insurance companies don't really like paying out if they don't have to.
Oh, no, they don't.
So if
they do not.
that's where it comes back to as a tenant. It's your responsibility. Yeah. I know it's another bill that you have to pay. I have my own contents insurance, but I've got some stuff in there. My kids have got some gaming stuff that, heaven forbid if that happened, anything happened to that. But it's a cost, but I just get it direct debited monthly to cover what's required because as a responsible tenant, I take that responsibility myself. I'm not just expecting it to become somebody else's problem down the track if something happened.
Yeah. We're just like, fingers crossed it won't happen.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love a direct debit for sure. I think the only reason I ask is because we've got a backyard that floods and it flooded way worse because there wasn't we got water coming in from the neighbour. There wasn't a drain where it could go out at that one spot, so it just flooded. Yep. And so that was a conversation we had with them. Yep. Didn't have to make a claim, nothing got damaged, but then they put in a pipe and stuff.
Yep. But then who looks after keeping that pipe clear?
Oh, me, I guess, yeah. Wouldn't I? Yeah. I usually do, but I don't know whose responsibility that is.
Because then that becomes part of a claim if they have to down the track is, okay, who's been maintaining that piping? So it's like,
I know they don't.
Yeah.
So I figure it's me.
But I mean, it like over time, if you've got Aggie drain, so that's that black drainage stuff with the black crisscross pattern, or it's like oblong and you dig it into the ground.
I trust you. Yeah. I do believe you.
Any kind of drainage, like over time, your grass is going to potentially grow over into it, or unless you keep it edged.
Yes.
Debris will sometimes fall into it, and then it could potentially block it. So then, who's looked after that? Then it becomes an owner responsibility again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But then, as a tenant, like if you've got your kids putting stuff down a drain. Then that becomes owner's.
That's different,
Yeah. But then nothing will generally be found until it's too late.
Yeah. Yeah.
You investigate after something's actually happened. So, and drainage isn't always a possibility for owners either.
No.
Like if you've got a property that the way that the land lies, it will be major excavation to get any kind of piping.
Yeah.
And if we talk about a block of land that potentially the house has been built in such a way that all of the land falls back towards the house, which is not ideal, but like is that an expectation of an owner then to fully level everything out or level it away?
Well, surely not. I would have thought that would be kind of like the responsibility of the builders to not do that.
Yeah. But if you've got a property that's 40 years old, building restrictions and codes were very different back then to what they are now.
Right.
And or if you're the unlucky person that has got the house in the estate where all of the blocks have been raised around you and you're getting the overflow from everybody's yards. Like, what do you do there as an owner?
I suppose it comes down to more of a philosophical conversation about building with the land and things like that.
Yeah. I mean... and I mean, that's the thing. Once properties are established, it takes a lot more work and money to, and for example, if an owner is not living there, they don't know these things.
No, well, they could be in like Tasmania or something, and be investing
in an investor elsewhere, and then it falls down. Does it fall down to a property manager to then make those decisions? It's like, well, no, because a property manager is not a certified builder, nor are they an engineer or a surveyor who can then go, okay, well, this land is like this, and it needs to be sloping away, not to the house. I mean, over time in property management, if you've been around like donkey's ages, like I have, you do pick up bits and pieces along the way, and you can look at something and go, yeah, okay, past experiences have said that's going to then drain into the house, and maybe we need to get look at planning or saving for, get a quote, how much it's going to cost to get an Aggie drain all the way around your cementing around the house so that the water's got somewhere to drain to, but then it's got to go somewhere. So then all of that Aggie drain has to be laid on a slight angle so that it all runs away and it's not just sitting level, because then it's not going to go anywhere. It's no point having the drain there as well. So there's so many things that go into that, and when you're buying a house you don't necessarily think about that.
No.
Or building a house, you probably do because the builders do that for you. Yeah. But if you're purchasing an already established property as an investment, you don't really think about that. I mean, I know in my backyard where I rent, there is an easement that runs through the backyard. It's some kind of drainage point, and it's got a white cap in my backyard. Right. And I know there's a lull, not a lull, it's not the right word, but there's a little valley in the land itself. So when it rains a lot, because it hasn't got time to absorb into the ground, I have a little wading pool in my backyard. Love that. So, which is okay. I mean, I don't mind. I know that it's there.
Just ups the value for like a week or so while it's there. So you have a pool. You got to fence it though.
Yes, that's right. So many conditions you have to have with the fence. But like I try over time, I just try and fill it so it gets a little bit more level, put some sand and some dirt there so that it then the lawn grows through, it gets all lush. It's just, in Queensland, it's really only in Far North Queensland where we are in Mackay, it's really only for 3 or 4 months of the year that we have enough rain that it could potentially be a problem to come into the property. But we talk to our owners about that. But that's where it's really important about that insurance, to have that just in case. But tenants need to have their own contents insurance. Don't think that the owner's insurance is going to look after your stuff, because it won't. 9 times out of 10 it will not. So you need to take that responsibility for your own insurance, and it just has to be contents. It just can be, my things, think about the things you have in your house, and think of a figure, it's really probably worth, on whole, if I had to replace it all, it might be $10,000. Yeah. Maybe.
And that's like sale value, not like sentimental value.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So replacement value. So if I had to go buy a new fridge tomorrow because it got flooded and I lost everything in it, and or it just died, or something happened to it from something happening with the house, how much would a new fridge cost me? Probably, I don't know, $1,000, $1,200, depending how big you need it. It doesn't have to be the flashiest. It's like for like. It's not, I've got just a single door fridge.
Yeah, guess I have to get a smart fridge now.
I want to get a smart fridge that's got a water dispenser and it's plumbed in and all of that jazz. No, we're talking about, because the value that you put on your items determines your premium that you pay. Yeah. So if you have 50,000 worth of contents, you're going to have a higher premium than somebody that has $10,000 worth of contents on their policy. So it's really important for tenants to do that.
Yeah.
One thing though with insurance in Far North Queensland, and I don't want to scare anybody away from investing in Far North Queensland, because
it's a good idea.
we have got great rental returns.
Oh yeah.
I call it a little bit bang for your buck. You get a lot more in Mackay per se than you would, say, in outer suburbs of Brisbane, where your rental yields are a lot higher. And if you've got, say, if you want to buy 2 investment properties, you may be able to buy 2 for the price of 1 in Brisbane. Yeah. So why wouldn't you get that double income in Mackay? Yes, you're not here. You're not in Mackay physically watching those properties all the time, but that's where you need to entrust your property manager to do the right thing by you. But yeah, in Far North Queensland, your insurance premiums are going to be higher because, especially in Mackay, unfortunately, we are in a flood map and we are in a cyclone map. So when you're looking at investing, there's mapping of areas in particular zones. We are both. And that means, unfortunately, some insurance companies, because of that, we have higher premiums for their policies. Yep. But it also means, like, the chances of some areas flooding, and that's where it comes to talking to locals to know, okay, well, that area doesn't flood. I live in an area that in 2008 did flood. So I can't get contents insurance with certain providers and car insurance with certain providers because of where my car is garaged. Right. But it was 2008, which was a long time. Which was like 20 years ago. Yeah, exactly.
It flooded once.
Yeah, and it was a 1 in 100 year event. It's never happened again.
Although, that being said, it might. Given the way that the environment's going. That's right. It could possibly happen more and more.
Yes.
But still... It's a bit crazy that they won't even give you anything.
Well, it just means I have to go with somebody else who will provide insurance there. And shopping around is really important to get that the right premium for you, but also looking at what the policies offer you as well. Some won't do water ingress and different things. Yep. So shopping around is really, really important for your insurance. But just to keep in mind, if you are looking to invest in Mackay, that your insurance will be a lot higher. Your rates will be a lot higher, but Mackay is growing really fast. So those monies from your rates are going towards the infrastructure to support those that are moving to the area for jobs. Yep. So it's something to factor in that's off topic.
You're building the community.
Yeah, building the community, building the infrastructures to support that community. But in terms of insurance, yes, you just need to shop around. They will be high premiums. Yep. But
talk to an accountant.
Talk to your accountant.
Talk to an insurance.
That's right. Broker. Yeah, talk to an insurance broker, but sometimes just be careful with insurance brokers. Love them to pieces, just like mortgage brokers, but sometimes their excesses can be really high for simple things like your landlord's insurance. I know that I had one owner who it was going to cost him in excess of $2,500 to make it a claim for loss of rent on his landlord's insurance policy. Wow. And I'm like, that's insane. You're almost better off not to make a claim because then it may affect your premiums from there on because you've made a claim. So that owner, there were significant arrears, unfortunately, which I inherited from another agency, and he just had to say, look, I can't, for the sake of $600 or $700, and my premiums may go up next time because I've made a claim. I'm just not going to proceed.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. So in terms of landlord's insurance, so the landlord's insurance is not necessarily anything to do with the property. It's to cover the owner for any event that is caused by the tenant. Yeah. So loss of rent, malicious or accidental damage. That's pretty much really the only ones that we would claim for. But there are other ones, so check the policy. One, EBM rent cover is really good for landlord insurance policies. So they have included in their Ultra package at this point in time. I'm not 100% if this has changed, but right now, from memory, the policy includes $70,000 worth of contents, which is the owner's stuff. Like, again,
the flooring, the walls, curtains, the cabinetry.
That's right. Not for your things, not for the tenant's things. Yeah. But EBM rent cover's got a really good one. Terry Shear, they've been around for many, many years, and they used to only do landlord's insurance. They've branched into home building insurance now for their clients, so it's all rolled into one. Yep. But the main thing to look at is loss of rent should have a very low excess.
Well, that
If
makes
Terry
sense.
Shear doesn't have an excess for loss of rent,
Yeah.
so if you have to make a claim, you can make it. For as little as $300, you don't have to pay an excess. Some other insurance does have an excess, but they might have a $500 excess for loss of rent.
Yeah.
But if you followed all the correct procedures in terms of if you have to make a claim, you need to know what your policy is.
Yeah.
Because, and we as property managers, or I know I ask my owners for a copy of their and I make a note when it's up for renewal, excuse me, and I ask them to send me an updated copy.
Yeah. Yeah. Those recommendations, by the way, for insurance companies, we're not getting paid to say that.
Nope.
That's just Elizabeth's actual, in her experience, genuine recommendations.
Yep.
So.
And like
but always search around though yourselves.
Definitely
of course.
do your
Things
research.
change.
Yeah.
Policies change.
Just as important, like when you're looking for your own private health insurance or car insurance, you compare apples and apples. Which one's got the better deal? Does one come with one free windscreen a year, or do you have to pay for that every time?
Yeah.
So little things like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you've got multiple policies with that one insurer, you might get a multi-policy discount as well.
Yes.
But ask, is that the best price you can give me for that insurance? Sometimes you don't have to depend upon that online quote that they give you. You can always ring them. I know it actually means talking to somebody, but ringing up and asking, is that best you can do? Because I would imagine they've got so much range where they can make changes to things, and if they really want your business, they will make some changes. But you never know if you never ask.
That's right. Yeah, just get on the phone. Fair enough. So basically, as a summary, make sure you have your insurance.
Yes.
If you're a tenant, you don't have contents insurance, you might not feel like you need it because you might not really feel like you have stuff worth enough. And that's fine, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten it when I first moved out because all my stuff was worth picking up on the side of the road. So it didn't matter. Just go straight back out on the side of the road. But if you start to get expensive things, like I've got a camera that is worth quite a bit, I've got, TVs, whatever, consider your contents insurance. Yeah, especially if you are in places like Northern Queensland where things can happen. Yep. It's worth having.
Definitely.
It's worth thinking about. Yeah. My science teacher in high school always said to me, you can't afford not to have insurance. Not the other way around. Yeah.
Because when you do want it, it's too late to have it.
Oh, it's way too late.
You can't backdate something.
Yeah.
But even... definitely worth having, because even things like, you lose power because of a natural disaster in an area. So all of the things in your fridge and freezer are gone.
Yep.
Sometimes, depending on your excesses, you can actually make a claim on your content insurance for that. It might, I don't know, whatever your excess is, but then you get a cash injection to go and because, in your fridge you might have things that are, or freezer, you might have condiments in there that you've been building up over time, but then to have to go out and buy everything in your fridge again and your freezer again, it might set you back nowadays. It might set you back $600.
Yeah.
Where, 18 months ago, 2 years, 5 years ago, it might have been $300.
Yeah.
But to go and start from scratch again, you don't necessarily have that kind of money to go and buy all of that stuff again to fill your fridge or your freezer.
And that's not something I would have considered, honestly, until you said that. Fridge contents and things like that.
Yeah.
It can cover that. There you go.
There you go. You learn something new every day, hey?
Yeah, and think about, what area you're into, because I moved into Petrie. I don't want to dog Petrie, I'm sorry. But I moved into Petrie first, and we got robbed the third week that we were there.
Oh, wow.
And they came into the house and took stuff. But luckily for us, we did not have contents insurance, but they came in and the only thing they actually took was our car keys.
Right.
With the intention of coming back to take the car. They do that a lot.
Yep.
But they just ran off with the keys. Okay. So we just had to pay the excess on getting the keys replaced.
Yes.
And then I believe we got paid for getting all the locks replaced too.
Yep.
I honestly cannot remember what insurance we claimed on that.
Yep.
But things like that, that can happen as well.
Yeah.
It's not even just natural stuff. Like kids might break into your house and take your stuff.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate reality.
It is. So in terms of for owners with their insurance, so they ask a lot of questions about do you have window locks? Do you have deadlocks? Nowadays, windows, you have to have locks. All windows have to be lockable with the change of the minimum standards in legislation for us. So the answer will obviously be yes. But if you have questions in terms of your insurance, sometimes having those window locks or deadlocks can actually reduce your premium. Because you've got things in place, there's a less chance of anybody breaking into the property because you've got those safety precautions as well. So if you are looking at changing your policy or looking at doing your research, definitely talk to your property manager about what your property actually does have, because you may forget over time what it does actually have. And with the modern technology, we can look at certain things and go, on those photos I can zoom in, you've got window locks on every lock, on every window, or I've got dead bolts or the 3-tier deadbolt on my door, which then insurers are going to love.
Yeah, or you've got like security
screens
like
that are lockable or deadboltable. If you've got cameras, that kind of thing as well. So it's always good to touch base with your property manager and just see where your property's at again.
Yeah.
Or what things it does have. Because, you might have replaced your security screen doors 10 years ago, but you might not remember that you did that.
No. And in terms of owners, landlord's insurance, is that like something they have to get?
No, you don't have to have.
Okay.
But we strongly advise you do.
Absolutely.
Because it's the same like car insurance. If you're driving along and you don't expect you ever have to use your car insurance.
No, until you do.
Yeah. I had a couple of instances, unfortunately, where owners didn't have it.
Right.
And
landlord's insurance, you mean?
Yeah, they didn't have landlord's insurance, so they unfortunately weren't able to make a claim. We have to go down the path of QCAT to try and recover funds, which even if we go to QCAT to recover loss of rent or rent that is owed by that tenant, we still don't have any guarantee that we're going to get that money.
No.
That previous tenant could then decide through a debt collector, I'm going to pay you $20 a fortnight for the next 10 years to pay off a debt. But unfortunately, that if that's all they can afford and they nominate that amount, that's what we have to have.
Yeah.
So having the landlord's insurance part of
safety
it,
net
then we may not have even had to include that part in the QCAT application, because we can get that from the landlord's insurance. They'll pay out on that.
Yeah.
So then we're only looking at the damage.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, is for an owner in terms of insurance, you've got two options. If you have landlord's insurance and building insurance, we most likely use the landlord part of it.
Yep.
But we can make a claim for the items from a vacate if a tenant has absconded or owes money or has severely damaged it. We can make an insurance claim instead of going through QCAT. It's one or the other. You can't do both.
You can't do both.
No, that's having your cake and eating it too.
Fair enough.
You can only go, because with your landlord's insurance claim, if your real estate agent has done everything properly, there's a very good chance you're going to receive compensation via your insurance policy.
Yeah.
With owners, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yep.
You go through your insurance, and like I said, if a property manager is doing all the right things, following legislation, giving notices when required, and doing exit condition reports and following everything that's required by legislation, you've got a really good chance that you're going to get a payment from your landlord's insurance to cover those costs. Yep. You as an owner will have to pay for everything up front, and then you make a claim with those receipts. Unless you've already got quotes, they may be able to do that. It's just when we've got such a quick turnover now, if a tenant moves out, we want to try and get a tenant in as quickly as possible to avoid those long periods of loss of rent then for that owner. So we would have more invoices and making a claim after that property's been reoccupied. But if you don't have landlord's insurance, the only option is to go to QCAT.
And that's a legal process then.
It is.
That's kind of like taking someone to court.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what you're doing.
It's a very long-winded process, and it's not fun. And it takes a long time to get something resolved, because once you've got that court order, then you still have to go to a debt collector to try and recoup those funds.
And then there's costs. All of them. Hey,
that's right.
Yeah. We don't want lengthy legal processes. No, we want to make things ahead of the curve, and we don't want to be the types of people that hold grudges against people and take people to court because we are emotional either. We want to be prepared financially.
Correct.
And I guess that comes to, don't just jump into investing without considering all these
considering
possible
everything,
things,
yeah.
you
So
know?
looking at, okay, what's the rough insurance premiums in that area? Does that area flood? Does that area get cyclones? Does that area have a high crime rate? Does that area have a certain demographic there? Does that area, like, you look at the bigger picture when you're investing. Same with if you're looking to rent a property anywhere, you do your research on the suburb. How long it's going to take me from house to school to work. You work out all those things. So it's no different when an owner's looking to invest buy an investment property. But in terms of insurance at Parkstone Property, all my owners have to have landlord's insurance.
As like a standard for working with you.
Yeah. Because you're setting up for the end in mind, not that you want to have to make a claim. But again, like I said with the car insurance metaphor, you're better off to have it because there's only so much I can control as a property manager. And if a tenant decides to vacate, not pay their rent, I can't chase them every single day. No. That's classed as harassment in our legislation. But then you look into a whole different legislation of person's right to peace and quiet enjoyment of anything in their life, whereas a debt collector's got different legislation, so they can actually hound someone. They can contact where they work. They can, ask their employer to take money out of their pay, that kind of thing. Because they're a debt collector, they've got different legislation, whereas that debt collection legislation doesn't cover me. No. So there's only so much I can do for my owners.
Yeah. Well, it just shows you're not interested in working with people who want to do things kind of under the bar and want to cut corners and because it just never really plays out. I feel it's not a person who's acting with integrity or acting with.
Well, it's not taking risk out of certain scenarios. You're not thinking of the bigger picture necessarily. And I mean, I understand it's very expensive. Everything for an investor or an owner is it just adds up. There's so many things you have to have. There's a standard you have to have the property. You need this certificate, that certificate of compliance. It can get overwhelming to how much you actually need. But it pays off. If you do everything correctly and by legislation, then it pays off for you in the end because you're providing a property that is up to scratch, up to code, up to standard, and then your tenants then respect you because you are looking after that investment. Yeah. And then when you go to sell it, it's in better condition. Yeah. Because you've done everything right. And I mean, look, I'm a straighty 180 person, so everything has to be done by legislation and by the book.
If you're going to do it, you got to do it properly.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I would agree with that. I know some people might look for sort of I don't want to say cutting corners because some people might just want to, I guess, consider being clever about it or sort of trying to finesse through it. I don't know how to say it in a positive way that doesn't sound like against, because people disagree with me. I know that. Like, not everyone will think we should do it 100% by every written rule and line and everything, whatever. But that's just how I feel about it, I guess.
I suppose it comes down to, for investors, it depends who you choose as a property manager. And if they, for me, if an owner chooses not to have landlord's insurance, that's fine. Just send me a statement to say, or an email to say, I don't wish to take it out. That's cool. But you're going to regret that decision if we come to that point. Yeah. I'd like to think that we don't ever have to use someone's landlord insurance. But if I have a property that comes from another agency and they don't have it and their tenants are already behind,
it's a risk.
It's a massive risk. Yeah. And that means you've got to put money into your mortgage to cover your mortgage repayments because that tenant now can't pay that rent. Yeah. And so you end up paying more than what you would have done for a premium. Yeah.
And if you're a rent investor, you might not be able to pay your rent.
Yeah.
In your house where you're living.
Yeah, the domino effect. Cover your mortgage. That's right. There's a massive domino effect from not taking out that precautions. Yeah. I mean, if you do have to make a claim, it's been a long time since I've made a claim with Terry Shear, but from memory, when I did do it, we did all of the work, so the owner had to pay for a lot of it themselves. Yeah. But if you know that you've got a great chance of getting that money back to reimburse yourself, it doesn't make it seem so bad that you're having to pay for those things to bring the property back up. Yeah. The bond can only cover so much. Yeah. And now as rents are getting higher, the bond only covers so much. Like the wall repairs, labour costs are going up and material costs, so everything's going up. Yeah. The bond, yes, is it enough anymore to cover things in the property? Maybe not anymore, but that is what it is. That's the legislation, what it states right now. Yeah. So we have to work with what we've got.
Of course.
But it makes the sting a little bit less harsh if you know that there's a very good chance you're going to get reimbursed for spending $5,000 on bringing that property back up to scratch as well.
Yeah, and doing it properly.
That's right. But then also you can look at your accountant and say, well, I've had to make improvements on this property, which I hadn't anticipated. Where do I sit with that in terms of my tax return? So talk to your accountant as well if you're in that position. Yeah.
If you're going to be investing, have an accountant.
Definitely have an accountant and a financial planner.
Yeah.
Because they can help you out. Yeah.
My uncle asked me the other day, he was like, what do you mean you don't have an accountant? I'm like, I'm 23 and do not have an investment portfolio or any. Well, I have a share investment.
Yeah.
But I just manage that myself.
Yes.
But yeah, he was like shocked. He's like, what do you mean you don't have an accountant? And I was like, you run a building company. You have an accountant.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't need one right now. So maybe if when I, have a bigger amount of stuff to manage.
It doesn't matter how much stuff you have. So a question. I have so many questions. Just one question though, without prying too much. So when you do your tax return, do you just do that yourself?
I guess.
Wow.
Well, I kind of thought that's what everyone did.
No.
Because you go into the website with the ATO.
Yeah.
And it goes through the process and it asks you all the questions and it's like, do you want to claim deductions on this? And you're like, yes. And then you put in the amounts. And I just do that.
Wow.
Do you not do that?
No.
So you obviously
I haven't done a tax return for myself ever on the ATO website.
Well,
ever.
I know people that have never done a tax return. I'm not naming names. I just know that. Like people my age.
So glad that camera can't pick up my eye twitching. Yeah.
Not a good idea. But no, I just do it. I don't know.
Wow.
It's not really, I guess, a thing amongst people my age to have an accountant.
Okay. Interesting.
I suppose.
Because when I was your age, I had an accountant who did my tax return.
Really?
Yeah.
You just pay to see them when they do it?
Yep. I only talk to them about August every year to do my previous financial year tax return. And I paid them $150 or whatever it was. And then you can claim that the next year because you've used financial services to complete your tax return. So it kind of pays off in the end.
But you still need to keep all of your own receipts and documents and stuff to give to them to then do it.
Yeah. But accountants are great because they can look at, okay, you live in this location and I didn't know Mackay because it's regional, you get a certain tax exemption because you live regionally.
Oh.
So you see, accountants know things.
Oh my gosh, maybe I should get an accountant. I
don't not saying
I
think you should.
Because that's why I brought that up. Because genuinely, when my uncle said that to me, I was kind of like, "That's silly. What a silly thing to be shocked by." Of course, I don't have an accountant. I'm just a young person, chilling. You know, I don't have, I don't run a business. I don't need one. Yeah, I guess. But no, that's probably a good point.
There might be things that you're able to claim. I didn't know that you can claim your washing your uniforms, and there's an allowance for that. Oh, yeah. All these little things. Handbags. So if handbags or work bags, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. Fair.
You can spend up to, I'm pretty sure it's either $250 or $500, and you can claim that on your tax return. Oh. Because you're using it. It's got to be 90%, it's got to be used a majority for work.
Right.
And you can claim that. So I've got a laptop bag.
Interesting.
It's cost me, $150?
Yeah.
I'll make a claim on that because I only use it when I'm travelling for work.
Yeah, well, exactly.
But it is specifically a work bag. I don't use it any other time. See, if you deep dive into TikTok, there's so many things they talk about on tax returns there. And they're actually accountants that are just telling you tips and tricks. TikTok, And they also let you know about when things are changing in legislation for tax returns and tax brackets and things like that. It's actually really informative, and then it can get really overwhelming. But even things like, so I use my vehicle for work.
Yes.
I can claim a percentage of my fuel, or not my fuel, but I can use a percentage of my vehicle, services, tyres, things like that I have to do to maintain that car because I use it for 90% of my work. Right. The other 10% is picking up and ferrying my children around to sporting events and social activities because I have no life. But, that work is my life to a degree, but there's ways around things. Yeah. Not condoning, evading, paying tax. But if there are things you can claim on your tax return,
that's right. We're not doing tax bad things.
No. We don't have a offshore account in the Cayman Islands or something.
No, in this economy.
No. You're doing well if you've got that over there in this economy.
My offshore account is a paper bowl filled with coins and a coin collection. That's my offshore account.
Coin collection.
Yeah,
lots of money there.
She froths a coin, a really interesting coin.
So does she always go to the post office?
Yeah, we've got Bluey coins,
Yeah.
Olympic coins.
And they're all mint condition still in their original packaging.
Some of them. Most of them she just like fishes out of whatever change she gets.
Yeah,
And finds
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's all about that.
My father gave Henry, when he was born, a gold coin.
Yep.
That was from the mint.
Ooh.
And that, like, the value of gold has gone up a lot. He's
Has
like,
it?
oh, you should sell it if you need some cash. And I'm like, no, that's going to increase in value over time. So, no, I think I'll hold on to that.
Do you reckon, this is so off topic, but do you reckon gold is increasing like to match the point of inflation at the moment to your
That's a very loaded question.
Probably
I'm
not.
sure.
Don't know. That's
But
okay.
I would imagine it is, because the more something becomes rare, the more valuable it becomes.
That's true. Yeah.
So, for example, tanzanite from Tanzania,
oh,
that only comes from there.
so like a mineral.
It's a stone.
Oh, okay.
It's a bluey, light blue color.
Right.
It can be mistaken for an artificial sapphire, but if you get pure, actual, proper tanzanite,
Yeah.
that increases in value because they are getting able to mine it less and less and less.
Right.
So they're running out of that. It's like a pink diamond,
There
for
you go.
example. They're rare, so they're
Yeah.
very, very valuable.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
There you
holding
go.
on to stuff. Yeah, look at that. Look what we've covered.
There's your insurance policy. You know what? Actually, no. But
No,
then
because
you
you'd
should
have to
get
put that
contents
on your
insurance
contents insurance. I've
to
got
cover your
a
Tanzania
pink diamond that's
stone, yeah.
worth 150 grand. Okay, you've got a premium now of $10,000.
But it's
Yeah,
only
no.
for loss
Yeah.
or theft.
Yeah, but you want to make sure its replacement value is current.
I
So
need to be able to buy another
That's
pink
well, you've got to be able to replace it. If someone stole it, you want to be able to replace it.
That's
It
right,
doesn't.
that's
The
true.
sentimental value is irreplaceable. But
Of course.
for example, I had some rings, and I had the actual certification from the jeweler because they were close to $3,000 worth.
Wow.
And so I had all of that, and it was an added extra on my contents insurance because you can have up to a certain amount of things that are movable, so like your laptop or
Right.
mobile phone,
Yes.
jewelry, for example. But if it's above that value, you have to add that as an extra
Right.
on your policy. So
Okay.
I did for a long time. They're not on there anymore because the sentimental value is not there anymore.
Yeah.
But they're still worth a lot as well. So it's just covering. You can go just your average. Okay, I'm just going to say it's all $10,000, and you can include bits and pieces in there if you want to, or you just have the basic level. It's good to have something because
Yeah.
if in a situation where you had to replace something, you've got that coverage
Yeah.
for yourself.
I'm fairly sure I do have contents insurance. I just cannot remember because I remember setting up the thing where I wrote down like the prices of everything. I just haven't touched it since though because nothing's happened.
So does
I
it
need
just
to check on
does
that.
it just roll over?
This is
then?
becoming like Hayley's life check-in because
This is
I'm
Hayley's
realising
life
that I'm,
admin.
like, actually, no, I guess it does. I don't know.
Oh, well, no, because you would have received a
I'm gonna check
renewal
that this
notice.
afternoon.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Check that you have contents insurance. Well, I'm about to move. It'll be fine. It'll be
But
fine.
then you still need it for the new place
Nothing's gonna
potentially. Yeah. Oh, look, we don't ever want to put in the universe that something's going to happen.
No.
But just in case.
Nothing will happen. Okay. I think that pretty much sums it up. Yeah.
I think so,
Get your insurances. Awesome. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Parkstone at Home. I've been Hayley.
I've been Elizabeth.
And if you can't get enough of us, you can stream the podcast on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And you can follow us on all of our socials at Parkstone Property. And we'll post shorts from these videos and just updates from the Parkstone Properties business.
Mhm.
But yeah, thank you. We'll see you in the next
Thank you.
episode.
Bye.
I wish I knew